if they want to keep their job, so on and so forth.
Just like the records.
Yes. And but see, I had 7 abusers in Beach Home. 7. I had men and women abusers. You know, I had school teachers that would chase me around the playground. I had school teachers. You know, when they say to you that they used to throw rubbers at you and blackball rubbers at you and then slap you around the head or hit you over the knuckles with a cane. I used to do all that to you. You got the cane, you got threatened with abuse. The teachers would chase you around the playground and corner you in the playground. And you had these khaki shorts on. You didn't possess anything. You didn't possess so much as a hanky. You didn't have no money, no belongings or anything like that. They'd rifle through your pockets, feeling you up. Right, because you had nothing in your pockets. What you got in your boy, the term they use, what you got in your boy there, pocket. You know, you can go back to Oliver where they turned around and said, more, boy, more. It's kind of like, although that was theatrical, it's on some elements of truth. And a lot of stuff where they film a lot of these films, kind of like an element of truth is thrown in to give it the storyline.
Did you ever report the abuse in the children's home?
I did. I went to Banstead Police Station and I went to, this is where I'm saying I had 7 abusers, because I went to Banstead Police Station and I went to them and said, look, these things are happening to me in Beach Home, like, you know, I'm running away. I ran away twice from Beach Home, tried to walk home to where my home was in Shepherd's Bush, where I came into care from in the first place. But it was a long walk for a little boy of my age, you know, adolescence. And the police took me back to Beach Home in Black Maria, and I ended up going before the superintendent was Geoffrey Banner. There was a documentary called Gal is Dead, a Sick Park documentary made. It's on YouTube. If you type in Gal is Dead.
I think she was abused.
She was abused.
Absolutely. By Geoffrey Banner.
Well, Geoffrey Banner abused a lot of children. Geoffrey Banner used to put young girls across his desk and pull their knickers in. Some of these girls are into puberty. So he's looking straight up there, you know.
Disgusting. Didn't you also see, children being loaded onto a van?
I did, because my dormitory window in the Gal is Dead documentary, Geoffrey Banner's been interviewed on this documentary, and in the background you can see a cottage on the right hand side. Just before the one that's painted was Laburnum Cottage, the cottage that I was in. I looked out of my dormitory window on the right of the beech tree or the light, because what I remember is when I was in there, Beach Home, the beech trees themselves, the lights were underneath the tree, so the light came up and it was like the canopy of the tree over the light. Used to make flickering patterns.
Like spooky.
On the dormitory window. So you'd be lying in bed. And
it must have been so frightening for you.
Well, it was broken by Audrey Wilson peering over my bed to take me into her dormitory, or abusing me in the bed itself. But Geoffrey Banner,
when kids are scared of monsters under the bed, there was literally monsters in your room.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. But it was broken by this silhouette of a huge woman, large woman, which was Audrey Wilson. Used to come and take you into a dormitory and into a room, staff room, and take you into their quarters. And then, like I said, with Geoffrey Banner, he was abusing children there. He got me, and he was trying to say to me, if you go to the police station, little boys that tell tales get sent away. And he was bouncing me on the knee on a perverse way, because he was rubbing himself against me, jerking me up and down on his lap. And he was getting worked up, bouncing a young child off his lap, and he said, look in that corner there's the cane, and he said, little boys like you get the cane or you get sent away for telling lies. And it was horrific. They used to get uncles from other houses used to come and beat you or take you into their houses. They didn't think about the bloody bathrooms. The bathrooms are the torture chambers.
So how many people were actually complicit on your site at the abuse? If these people are coming in, were they a part of the children's home, or were they just coming in from
outside? Yeah, there were people from outside Beach Home coming in and abusing friends of friends or dignities or whatever the case might be. Were coming into Beach Home, and sometimes they'd come in by car and probably come in the evening, and then they would be taken out of the dormitories into the staff quarters or taken somewhere like the bathrooms where they used to and then they'd take, because you had the upstairs and the downstairs, and it was so much easier. We even had outside toilets. We weren't allowed to use the inside toilets. We had to go to these outside toilets. Even in the freezing cold in the winter, we had to go to these toilets with the highest flushing systems and cold, horrible outhouse type of toilets. We used to go there. I mean, as I say, from Laburnum went to Larch, and I had another abuser. He was in McLaren. He was like a rugby player, he was built like a shithouse brick wall, solid, muscly, very strong man. And he'd punch you with his fist. He'd think not twice about punching you in the stomach, throwing you on the floor, jumping on your back and riding you like a horse. And then to get you to, after the dinner times, where you would all sat at the tables, you used to have about 5 tables, and all the kids, about 5 round each table sat. There was up to 20 kids in the house, almost like school sizes or classroom sizes. And he would just beat you up and he'd jump on your back. And after dinner, they'd take you into the kitchen, make you wash up and things like that. He'd come and hold the railings behind you, get you up against the sink, and he'd rub up against your...
It's absolutely vile how no one has investigated this and no one wants to investigate it. They've deliberately left you out of this inquiry, Alan, because you've got things to say.
Yep.
I mean, they were cherry picking who to put in the inquiry in the first place.
Yep.
You know, it's funny how they've rolled your home into the inquiry, but you haven't been involved in any input into that inquiry because they're hiding it, unfortunately. And, you know, Alan, haven't they lost or destroyed records of yours?
Apparently they've lost all their house records. They've never been found, never been handed in. The house records for 24 cottages, where they used to have like the books in the staff room, where they used to write down the everyday activities of the children, what going on. If you look at my files, you've got my files, a copy of my files, my children's files, which we managed to get through very, very difficult circumstances.
But it's about that then, and half of it's
Half of it's redacted, some bits are missing. If you look at the dates, there's nothing in between certain dates, and some of the years are missing.
Before he was born as well.
And they got me in care, made a mistake, or put me in care before I was even born. How did that work out?
There's nothing about the abuse in the files.
Not a thing, no.
Not a thing. And that's why they're claiming now that they have no evidence, because they've been threatening everyone to go away, keep quiet, picking and choosing, cherry picking who to put in. And Alan's a real victim of this, who's been campaigning for justice for 12 years. Can anyone in Great Britain at the MPs not give him a bit of a break and maybe give him some justice? But anyway, Alan...
Well, they won't do it because they're complicit.